Does WDT actually work? This is Coffee with Arthur. I waste my beans so you don't have to. And today we're going to be looking at WDT and if it actually makes a difference or not. When we make espresso, we're always trying to get as much even extraction as we can. And there's been lots of techniques to help people come up with that. And recently, there's been this tool called the WDT, the Weiss Distribution Technique, where you have a little thing where you put a lot of very, very fine needles in it. And you just mix up the coffee. Now, a lot of people say that this has to be very, very fine needles. It can't be something like a toothpick or a fork. We're going to be testing those today as well, but we're going to see if this actually makes a difference in our extraction or not. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pulling a shot with no WDT on it. Then I'm going to pull a shot using this WDT tool. And then I'm going to pull a shot using toothpicks. I'm going to be testing this on an Olympia Cremina and a Eureka Mignon Specialita to try to get the most consistent results here. And I have this on a timer so that I don't have to measure the beans. It's going to come out regularly each time. So let's just put these beans in the hopper. Lots of these. Okay, so we've got about 15 grams in here. Now I'm just going to try to settle the grains, the grounds a little bit. Okay, I want you guys to see what this looks like without the WDT in them. So this is on the Eureka Mignon Specialita. So you can see here that it's pretty fluffy, but there are some grounds that there's a little bit of bouldering in here. You can see that. But regardless, we're just going to start to pull a shot here. All right, let's see what this shot looks like. On the Olympia Cremina, I like to do a very long pre-infusion. So this is going to go for a while, maybe 20 or 30 seconds or something. But I just like to have that unctuousness come out. So I pull a really long pre-infusion. We'll see what happens. All right, here we go. 0.2%. Okay. And now you can see here, we have a decent amount of channeling. We can see that here. Decent amount of channeling. So we got a nice 30.3 gram shot. This is beautiful. Look at that. Oh, wonderful crema on it. Looks beautiful. Let's see how it tastes. To be honest, it tastes a little bit watery. And there's not too much flavor, but a little bit of over extraction near the end. Now that could be because the temperature was too high. I'm getting some nice chocolate undertones, but there is still a little bit of like a lack of a character of flavor to it. I think maybe I didn't do a high enough pressure on it, which could be an issue here. But yeah, it just feels kind of flat with a little bit of harshness at the end and a little bit of chocolate flavor. Let's see what happens when we actually use the WDT tool in it. And so now we're going to be using the WDT right here. All right. So now let's see what this looks like without that. You can see here that there's quite less bouldering happening here. You know, it seems like a lot more finer now after I've used the WDT tool here. So now we've got this all going. All right, now let's put this in and let's see what happens. Okay, so one thing I'm noticing now is actually that it's not coming out as fast as it was last time. That's interesting. Okay, now it's starting to go. It's been about over 30 seconds now. All right, that's the first drip. Okay. Second drip, third drip, okay. Now let's do a little slow pre-infusion here. Let's look and see how the espresso fills up the brew chamber now. All right, okay, we're gonna go 30 in. Oh wow, look at that. Look at how fast that's coming out. Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. Wow, that came out a lot faster than before, right? All right, let's look at this. So this is beautiful. Look at this beautiful crema on here. Wonderful. So this is a much more even extraction. So it came out faster. So what that means is that I'm getting a little bit more brighter tones in it. I'm kind of leaning towards acidic, but on these beans, these are like medium roast Guatemala. There's not too much acidity there, but I'm getting a lot more of those chocolate over undertones. Taste like this is much more fully formed espresso here. So I can tell like the taste is a lot more well-rounded here and it's a lot more enjoyable. So compared to the first one that we pulled versus the one that we pulled now, I feel like this one is more evenly extracted. And you can see from the video that actually the espresso came out a lot more evenly and it came out, you know, the extraction was a lot more even. What about using another tool? What if you use toothpicks? I see a lot of people using toothpicks. Well, let's try that together. And once again, the grinds look fine the way that they are right coming out. But when hitting them to try to get them to settle a bit, you're gonna have all of this bouldering here. I'm not sure how well you can see this bouldering here. So now what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna use 3 toothpicks. I'm just gonna take 3 toothpicks like this, and I'm just going to start to stir the grounds. Let's see what happens. I'm still getting a little bit of bouldering here, so I gotta do this a little bit more. All right. Look, once again, the crema is beautiful. Crema is beautiful. Yeah, so this, once again, this has a much more of a hollow flavor. I don't really know how to describe it. There's still a little bit of chocolate in there, but it doesn't feel as full as the extraction that I had before. So what I really feel is like, of course this pulled out, and this is a decent shot, but when I did it with the WDT tool, that tool that cost 10 bucks, it did taste a lot better. There was a much better texture to it. Very interesting. Whether you do WDT or you don't do WDT, you're still going to get good espresso because a lot of it's about the pressure, the flow rate, the temperature, all those things. But when I use the WDT tool to actually stir the grounds, I noticed that I got a much more full flavor. And also I noticed that the flow came out a lot faster than in the previous pulls. I think that's just because it was much more evenly extracted. Now, also, even though it came out faster than in the other times, I put in less pressure, I got a fuller mouthfeel. I got more of a velvety texture, even though I'm using a flat burr grinder here. So that was really great. So what I've realized is actually, I didn't want to believe it, but the WDT hype is real. And if you don't want to shell out the money for a $50 tool, well, this $10 tool right here is still good. You know, I bought this for $10 on Amazon. I think you can get this in the States as well. I'm in Japan, so maybe the access will be a little bit different. But I put a link to this, an affiliate link to this beneath this video if you want to support this channel and you want to get this. I'd really recommend this. But yeah, this is a big game changer here for me. One thing though is that a lot of people, like I said, use tools with thicker bars. Like I've seen some WDT tools that have thicker bars on them, but really having these really thin acupuncture needles, or maybe they're not quite acupuncture fineness, but these really thin needles really do make a difference. Toothpicks make a little bit of an improvement, but not too much. I really recommend the real deal here. So if you don't want to buy this, you can get a cork and put some acupuncture needles in it. That's fine too. But, you know, my time is more valuable for me, so I'm going to throw down the 10 bucks and I'm just going to get this. If you want to bring your espresso game to the next level, you want to get more flavor out of your beans, I really recommend you use this. I know I'm going to use it pretty much every time I pull an espresso now. I didn't want to believe the hype, but we found out that WDT really does make a really big difference. I'll see you guys next time.